Hey guys, it's Shawn here again. I'm here to tell you guys about a podcast that I do with my buddy Aaron. He's the host, and I'm his co-host. I'm his Robin to his Batman, I guess. Except I look way better in tights. Um, but go ahead and listen to our new podcast, Our Corner. We talk about a bunch of different subjects affecting all types of like walks of life regarding social media, regarding pop culture, and everything in between. We might even sneak in a few countdowns in there. I don't know. You have to tune in. Warning: the following podcast contains vulgar and offensive language. Listener discretion is advised. Thank you for coming back here at Fight Night. Okay, I'm sorry. Enough with that interpretive dance. I thank you for coming back here at Fight Night. Like I said before, we're gonna go over the list of 303. I know that we've been kind of lagging here back and forth. We've been kind of going through a few things, studio wise, family wise, fucking life wise, extraterrestrial wise. We'll figure it out. But so I'm actually here going to go over 303. You're going to see 302 come up sometime. We're going to go briefly over it, and then we're going to go ahead and hit 303 almost 2 days after. So you guys will be able to go back and forth with them. They kind of tie in just because of the fact that we saw so many fights drop out through the lead up to 303. And boy, do I have to say, it almost makes up for Conor McGregor not being there, dude. It almost makes up for it. Like, the card got so much better. And I thought it was going to be okay. There's a lot of things that happen. So hang on with me. So we're going to go through them quickly, real quick. One of the biggest things that did come up, obviously, Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor did not go to 303. Obviously, that was canceled due to Conor McGregor's broken foot. Chandler's still waiting in the wings for anybody to come up. There's a talk about a BMF title against Max Holloway, which could be interesting. So we'll have to see where that goes. I um, I agree with Max Holloway and with Michael Chandler. I think that's a good matchup, especially for the BMF title. We know Michael Chandler to be a beast when it comes to fucking Bellator and everything like that, and how he was in the UFC. He showed that he was still pretty good. So with Max Holloway, also we just saw him lay out Justin Gaethje crazy in UFC 300 to take the BMF title. Now it's a more serious title than what we thought originally. So it's going to be fun to see what they do with that. Hopefully they do it, but in replacement for Conor McGregor and Chandler, we had Alex Pereira, or Poatan, as most people know him, and Jiri Prochaska, who has been actually training um, since his last fight here. He's been still continuously training. He was in a meditation room when they told him about his fucking fight. He's a weird guy, bro. He lives that samurai lifestyle, and I'm all about it. Like, I love it. I think there's a few things he's ridiculous about. Like, Jiri Prochaska thought that Poatan was using some black magic from his village to to make him stronger and better than he was. I don't know, bro. My tech guys looking at me like, the fuck? These are fighters. Like, but yeah, so they had that. We had obviously Alex Pereira, which we're not going to go over the fight right away. I'm just kind of giving you the few changes that were there. The next one was Diego Lopez and Dan Ige. Obviously, you knew that it was supposed to be Brian Ortega. That got switched from the original card. It got switched to Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega that morning, not only did he realize that he could not make it at 155. He was literally told in like a week's notice, so he couldn't make it to 155. But then he got sick the next morning, 103 fever, for a while. So that's a good enough excuse for me, at least to call it, especially with Brian Ortega. Hey, bro, dude's a legend. Dude's gone with the best. Gave Volkanovski arguably one of his better matches, grappling wise at least. We got to see Volkanovski's full extent with Brian Ortega. So much respect to Brian Ortega. Hopefully he gets better. Hopefully we see him again. He looked okay. It was just kind of like one of those things where it's like, what the fuck you gonna do? You know, we had Kamzat that was supposed to come in, didn't. You know, unfortunately, people getting injured, sick. I do believe Kamzat is on the verge of retirement based with his last illness. Yeah, I think that's a good move too. It's gonna suck for him, but you know, if you keep getting sick that often, you know what I mean. Like you can't really be a title holder. You can't really be a contender. You can't really do any of that with that much health issues. But I digress. So those were the fights that were changed. A few other ones were changed, but we're not gonna get into those right now. We're gonna start it off with the breakdown of the main card that came out here. We have we have not Danny Gay. I'm sorry, I just said that. We have Ian Machado Gary. We're gonna call him Gary. Ian Gary, the cuck. And then we also have Michael Venom Page, MVP. I'm sorry, disrespect to Ian Gary because of Machado thing. Still sore. He's great though. I like his talent. He's a good guy regarding talent. Good in the pool. Obviously, we saw he had a decision victory against Michael Venom Page, arguably another very top contender who's coming over from Bellator and PFL to go ahead and cause a storm up here on the big stage. So far, he had a pretty good one. He defeated Kevin Holland, tough fight, and then he had this one with Ian Machado Gary. Now, Ian Gary, unfortunately, on the feet, Ian Gary, you didn't stand a chance. You were getting pieced up as quickly as you were. But the second you switched over to grappling, I thought you did great. You were doing a lot more, better control. Didn't really do anything with it, so I was kind of disappointed with that. But at least you had a good amount of control. I think anybody who watched the fight will be able to agree with me that Ian Gary, even though he had dominant position, he had a lot of good advantages when he had these holds, but he never actually executed anything. No submissions. Didn't really do anything. I'm surprised that the ref didn't really separate them as much as I thought they were gonna. But either way, Michael Venom Page, it sucks. You're a striker. You did great. You're a great troll, and you have the skills to back it up. Unfortunately, today wasn't your day, or that day wasn't your day. Tighten up, bro. Tighten up on your grappling. I know it's a big gap, but if you're going to be in the sport, you have to learn. You have to get to that grappling level. Otherwise, you're going to be dominated. And Ian Gary just proved it to you there. You were talking all this shit about Ian Gary, and Ian Gary was talking all this shit, and all of a sudden he comes out controlling you way more than you ever thought he would be able to control you. So there goes to show you. At least his wife showed him something. Anyway, do I want a rematch on that one? I'm all right. I don't think Michael Venom Page loses that much stock points. He is 37. He is still going for the title, so not too much stock points there. He just got tripped up by Ian Gary. I think he'll be all right overall in the long run. Ian Gary, I don't think he loses any stock points. If anything, you gain it. You gain stuff. You show that you can stop someone like Michael Venom Page. At least when it comes to striking, you can go ahead and grapple him and turn the tide and start moving things and start winning rounds, which is great. And like you've said before, people are talking about you because you're a force, you're a dominant force, and you're going across the UFC, and people are taking notice. You know what I mean? So good job to Ian Gary. Again, you know, the Machado thing bothers me, but other than that, I thought you were a great talent. I followed you for a while. I like where you're at. So I'm looking forward to see Ian Gary here perform better. And hopefully we can get Michael Venom Page up in the ranks too. I think if we do see a rematch for this one, I think the rematch will be the title shot with Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page for the title. But that means that a bunch of things would have to happen there. But we'll see where that goes. Now, the other one, not the greatest one. I actually was kind of disappointed with that one. Is Mayra Buenasilva versus Macy Chiasson. So I've never been a really big fan of Macy. There's nothing wrong with her at all. But I've just never been a really big fan. She did get the decision there. She got the decision round. I believe it was, or I'm sorry, she got a TKO, not decision. That's my bad. Sorry, Macy. Put some respect on that name. She got a little bit of TKO round 2, which is pretty good. Mira Buenasilva, I just figured off of the title shot, you would have had something more impressive to show and display. And I know I'm being a little critical on that, but Buenasilva, bro, like you were there. Like you were there. You would have figured that would have made you feel like you had a little bit better of a chance. Um, not gonna lie, Macy did do good work. Got in there, got the TKO. Very happy with the result. Like I said, respect on that name. But Buena Silva, hopefully you can bounce back from that. I think it does lose a little bit of stock with Buena Silva. Kind of shows her a little bit slowing down. Maybe I'm, like I said, maybe I'm being too critical. But hey, look out for Macy. She's doing good work so far. TKO round two, definitely like it. Definitely there. Definitely loved watching it. And no regrets, man. I'm pretty good with that. We had a fill-in fight again for the Kamzat fight. We had Roman Dolids versus Anthony Smith. Now, both these guys took this fight on very short notice. I think it was like what 48 hours. The fucking fight they took it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that the outcome would have been different. Anthony Smith, you just saw him get KO'd in combat karate as well. So we had that. So I'm not surprised that he got that he got in this situation again. I think for the stamina that these guys went through, 3 rounds for 5 minutes, even in 48 hours, it shows how well that these fighters train that they can actually go and make it as entertaining, or at least a little bit entertaining, under 48 hours notice. No training, no fucking weight cut, no nothing. Just going in there raw and just basically getting as much as you can done. Like that's awesome. Obviously, obviously there's no surprise there. Anthony Smith is a little long in the tooth, a little white in the hair. You know what I mean? So he's getting a little bit older on that end. So it's kind of seeing that decline of Anthony Smith and how he's going, and he had that crazy run with John Jones and all that stuff. So we're just kind of seeing there. I put him in the same category as Anthony Pettis as well, like kind of one of those. I guess we classify him as journeyman, and just go on from there. But maybe I'm being too critical, or I'm being too overzealous with that label. But I think they fit in that aspect. But either way, Anthony Smith, great fan favorite, very good. Roman, hopefully we see more of you. I was very impressed with the fight. Super good, super good. Round three decision, 5 minutes, awesome. Let's get this going. We have on the co-main event. That was one of the more impressive fights that I saw. We had Diego Lopez, that's with an S, bitches, and then we had Dan Ige. Bro, Dan Ige, oh my God. Being on one day's notice, bro, you fucked up Diego Lopez like a motherfucker. Like, yeah, he got the decision, but holy shit, bro. You had him there for a minute. I honestly thought that you were gonna fucking win. I really thought that you were gonna win. Ige, we've seen you time and time again be brutal, be rough with full training camps. It was no surprise at all. Danny Ige came out looking for that, kept going after him, didn't let up, despite being in numerous compromising positions. You'll see it on the video here. You were able to pull through. Didn't get the decision. Kind of disappointed. In a way, I'm kind of disappointed. I like the fact that Diego Lopez now gets to move up to the next level. Maybe more ranked contenders now that he has a 25-6-0 record, or a 26-6-0 record. I think he's gonna do great. I think it's gonna keep going, and I definitely can see Diego Lopez making a run for it. That's gonna be a good match with anybody, pretty much. Hey, Dana, Hunter, whoever you can, get on that shit. Diego Lopez, number one star. Not to take away any credit from Dan Ige, dude. Dan Ige on what, 12-hour notice of a fight, bruh. You looked amazing, bro. Seriously, you look great. I can't imagine what a full fight camp would have done for you. You would have probably taken that fight easily, very easily. So, very impressed with both performances. I know you saw a little bit of the press conference where Diego Lopez kind of reassures himself that, hey, I'm ready for anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere, and that's great. Like I said, if he doesn't go for the title, I can definitely see him as a long journeyman and still be able to make good money. Talking about journeyman, I'm gonna divert real quick to a comment that was made by Dana White earlier this week. He was talking about fighter pay, and I know that's been a big topic since PFL and Dana White said something the other day that I actually agreed with. He was like, you know what? I know you guys have an issue with fighter pay. If you guys really have an issue with fighter pay, please, please, please start your own fight company. See how difficult it is. See all the things that you have to do. Yes, Jake Paul has promotions that pay the same amount. There's other fight companies that have smaller promotions that pay out a lot. But look at that. That's the same thing. They have to pay out a lot. And in UFC, the money's more distributed. The money's more distributed regarding the fact that, again, you guys are seeing the outliers in boxing. You guys are seeing the outliers in certain shit. Even in MMA, you guys are seeing the outliers. Most of the UFC fighters, even some journeymen, are actually pretty wealthy and make a few $1,000,000, and they're just journeymen, man. Like, these are not people that are like going to be title winners or title holders. These are just people to kind of fill in the gaps to beef up the ranking system. You know what I mean? And they get paid tons of money. You saw those people. Look, Cerrone, Michael Chandler, and they make millions of dollars. McGregor's never going to have another fucking title. Like, he's not going to win another title. Let's be real. So what's he gonna do? Journeyman. That's the same thing. That's what they're all gonna do. Make millions. You know what I mean? So the fact that we're coming out after Dana White again for fighter pay, bro, you had your time to complain. You had the lawsuit. You guys settled. Get over it now. It's over. It's done. Like I told you guys before, it's done now. There's no need for that. And without further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for. The beautiful version of Squidward fighting Jiri Prochaska. Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochaska. Again, very, very, very difficult fight for both fighters. Jiri Prochaska was in shape, brags that he's in shape all the time. Alex Pereira was in the other side of the world touring. He was going to see places. He was living it up, living his best life, doing everything he could just to keep it going, bro. And Jiri Prochaska was meditated, was focused and everything. TKO, round 2. What is it, 13 seconds in, Alex Pereira drops Jiri Prochaska with the fucking kick that you've never seen before in your life. Dude, it fucked up so many people that at the end of round 1, FanDuel, and I'm calling FanDuel out. FanDuel, because I bet, your boy bets, your boy loses, whatever. But FanDuel removed the bet and said that it was done, that the fight was done. And then round 2 started and turned it back on, only to have it shut off again in 13 seconds because fucking Alex Pereira dropped Jiri Prochaska like crazy. I really wish I would have screenshotted my phone or I would have screen recorded my phone to show you guys that they had shown the live event over at round 1. No one had any faith in Jiri Prochaska after that. It was crazy. And again, not to take away anything from Jiri Prochaska, bro. Like, you are an amazing specimen. The samurai code lives deep within you, and I totally respect your thing. But you are comparing yourself to a phenom like Alex Pereira, bro. 3-time, like, double champion, about to be 3-time. And the reason I said 3-time is, I'm sorry, I'm jumping up ahead. Right now, Alex Pereira, for everybody else out there, Alex Pereira can beat John Jones. Alex Pereira can beat Tom Aspinall. He can beat Stipe Miocic. He can beat all these guys. And right now, Dana White and Hunter are highly considering letting him be a 3-time champion and be able to win that heavyweight strap. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens. After this, though, I would love to see an Aspinall fight. I would love to see Alex Pereira versus Aspinall. See what happens there. Because if Alex Pereira gets dropped, then finally we found someone other than Izzy who can stop him. But imagine how obsessed Izzy had to be able to stop him. So we got to see what Tom Aspinall is going to have if they even decide to do that. And if they do decide to do this, and let's say it goes this way. John Jones beats Miocic. He goes after Tom Aspinall. Let's say he beats Tom Aspinall. I don't think so. But let's say he beats Tom Aspinall. Seeing Alex Pereira versus John Jones, oh my God. The dick can only get so hard. Holy fuck, bro. Oh, both of those men in tight shorts? Holy shit, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I think that will be one of the greatest fights, and I think it'll be finally the fight that'll fully test John Jones, and I think he will lose against Alex Pereira. Dude, he's a phenom. He is everything, bro. Oh my God. Like, and I don't mean that in like a sexual way, but kinda. But no, I mean it like the things that he's done in such a short time. No one else has had a career like that other than like Connor, other than like fucking Strickland. No, not even Strickland. Like Connor and fucking, I think that's it, honestly. I think that's really it. The people who've had it like that, like That's crazy. It's a crazy career. And the fact that he has 2 straps now, and he's going to have a third one here soon, hopefully, if Hunter and Shawn, or if Hunter and Dana decide to actually do it, it's going to be great. I definitely think that we have a few more things to see from Alex, but I'm definitely hoping that we see him in the heavyweight division. But that was 303. What I did want to bring up is recent news up in here. I know a lot of people are criticizing Conor McGregor for stopping the fight or not going on the fight. Look, normally, how many times have people made that walk with broken limbs, with broken toes, being sick? I get it. But he's returning, man. You don't want him to be at any type of compromisation. I want to see Conor McGregor at 100%, along with Michael Chandler. It doesn't matter how long that takes. It sucks, but it doesn't matter how long that takes because they're not going to wait that much longer. He's just trying to eat out his contract, which, we'll figure that out. But I definitely respect Conor McGregor for making that clear-headed decision, that, dare I say it, almost adult decision that he made of saying, hey, I'm not 100%. I can't do this. Because if he would have made that walk and if he would have lost, like, bro, you're chipping away at your legacy there if you keep doing that. So I think it was a great move. Total respect for Conor McGregor. Hey, my boy, I'm going to criticize you in a minute here, but right now, all respect. I totally get it. Now let's criticize Conor McGregor. So recently, we heard about an unfortunate incident that's happening with one of the foreseeable GOATs of his division, Khabib Nurmagomedov. His gym was raided a few days ago regarding, at first we received news that it was regarding potential terrorist activities. Then we received clarification that he owes back taxes to Russia. Now, immediately Conor McGregor surged onto the scene and started saying things like, I told you so. I told you that they were a terrorist. They were talking about a bunch of shit, a lot of discriminatory shit, which I get that a lot of people don't really like the way it was said. And I totally appreciate that. And again, this could be a whole misunderstanding. This could be just back taxes, like they said. It could be, maybe they're exaggerating about the back taxes, maybe just a small amount of back taxes. But I do have to give Conor McGregor some legitimacy, because if you look back at Ali Abdelaziz, you find that he was arrested during the moments of 9/11 because he was supposed to be on one of the flights. And I don't want to be that guy, but that mugshot does exist, and that incident did happen, unfortunately. We're gonna have to see what happens with Khabib and the rest of those Nurmagomedovs and those Russian phenoms that are over there. We're gonna have to see what goes on with them, if they're gonna even continue in the sport. If it's just a big misunderstanding, if Dana White's going to try to figure out what we can do with them, if they're going to be barred from the UFC or what's going to go on, we'll see that in the next few days. Kind of start seeing where everything's going. We had Jiri make a comment where he really, really genuinely believes that he lost 303 because of the fact that Black Magic from Alex Pierre. And again, it's whatever, but he's also thinking about it in another way as well. He says, I have to analyze myself if I'm willing to fight more. If I'm not willing to fight more, then this is over. And it's crazy how he has that type of, I guess, self-awareness for Jiri. Like he has to like test himself and see if he's still in it, which, you know what? I'm not mad at Jiri Prochaska. I think he's a great fucking fighter. I think he still has a lot of time. I think anyone other than Alex Pereira, if it wasn't for him, I think Jiri Prochaska would be our champion, hands down. But then again, you could also say that about Jamal Hill and Leon Edwards and all that stuff. So we don't know. But anyway, either way, that's just some brief catch up. There's going to be probably another episode here, probably at the end of this week. If not during the middle of the week, I might try to see if I can sneak back in here and record another one, just a solid one, just so that way we can get more updates on this Khabib thing and a few other things that are going on. But other than that, this has been Fight Night. I do appreciate you joining me, and we'll catch you guys later.